Greetings everyone, Smirtnik here. Here is an improved version of my previous plane. Before I get to the tutorial part, I'm going to be taking it for a brief test flight. As you can see, we have a very short runway, but the plane will be able to take off just finely. I'm going to be discussing its capabilities later, but before we get to that, we're going to be taking it for a short flight. Because the plane is considerably lighter than the previous version, it can handle massive mountains and cliffs considerably easier, as it can fly above the cloud level, which makes it more usable. Additionally, because it is smaller and because it requires a smaller runway, you can land it pretty much anywhere that is remotely flat. We are going to begin making our plane by making our propeller first. We're gonna place two symmetrical sails like this, with a third one on top by shift right clicking. And we're gonna surround the middle sail with the remaining ones until we get a shape like this. Next, we're going to make our engine assembly. We're gonna shift place our propeller bearings so that it faces towards the propeller. We're gonna hold right click and we're gonna change the thrust direction so that it pushes air when moving clockwise. We're gonna place our analog transmission behind the propeller bearing. We're gonna place 3 of our cogwheels below the transmission in this pattern, and we're going to place 2 of our blue portable engines here and 1 in front like this. Lastly, the 2 grindstones go below these 2 cogwheels, which you can do by digging a hole, or you can place them like this. Afterwards, we're going to place the only shaft right here. We're going to place a vertical gearbox above it. We're going to right click it with a wrench here so that it faces this way. We're going to place another vertical gearbox here, and we're going to place another one on top of it right here. Next, we're going to be placing a directional gear shift on top of this vertical gearbox, and we're going to shift right click while placing a torsion spring so that it faces into this vertical gearbox. We're going to be setting its angle to 35 degrees, and we're going to place 2 cogwheels like this. Then we're going to place the second directional gear shift onto the same vertical gearbox. We're going to make this red line face the right side of our plane by using a wrench and right clicking here. We're going to place a torsion spring onto this directional gear shift. We're going to place a regular gearbox onto it, and we're going to place a grindstone below it. We're also going to change the angle to 30 degrees on the rear torsion spring. Next, we're going to be placing our mechanical bearings. We're going to place 1 on each side of this vertical gearbox, and we're going to place 1 on the right side of this. To make it balanced, we're going to place a block that weighs 1 onto the left side of this bearing. Next, we need to hold right click on each of these mechanical bearings and set them so they only place when the anchor is destroyed. Next, we're going to be adding the remaining symmetrical sails. To do this, we're going to get on top of the plane. We're going to start at this mechanical bearing. We're going to wrap the symmetrical sails around the tail section like this so that it is symmetrical on both sides. We're going to get onto this mechanical bearing. We're going to extend it 2 blocks like this. Then we're going to wrap it around like this. And we're going to repeat that on the other side as well, so that it is symmetrical. After we do that, we're going to be adding a little bit of a rudder tail thing that is going to keep the plane stable like this. Previously we added the symmetrical sails. Now we're going to be adding the windmill sails. To do this, we're going to get on top of the plane, and we're going to add a windmill sail here. We're going to be adding 8 in total on this side in this pattern. You will know that you did it right if you use dye and it doesn't spread onto your rudders or propeller. We're going to mirror that onto this side as well. Again, it should be 8 sails on this side. And we did it correctly. We're going to go onto our tail section. We're going to add 2 like this, and this one's a bit more gimmicky. You need to place it here. So it should look like this, and we're gonna mirror that onto this side as well. For this part, we're going to be getting on top of the plane again. We're going to be placing a full block on each side of the transmission like this. We're going to be placing a throttle lever here and a regular lever here, though this is not necessary. We're going to place a red seat here, and we're going to place a lectern on top of here. Next, we're going to be setting up controls. We're going to be doing this with redstone links. We're going to place redstone links on both sides of the directional gear shift. We're going to shift right click so that this little antenna or ring around the antenna appears on all of them. And then we're going to be adding separate items into each of these. I'm going to be using magma for down, rabbit hide for right, leather for left, and slime ball for up. Then we're going to be binding these to a linked controller. You can do that manually in here, or you can right click it and press the button. So this is left, it's going to be bound to A. This is right, it's going to be bound to D. This is down, it's going to be bound to S. And the remaining one is up, it's going to be bound to W. After that we can put it in the lectern. Next, we're going to be flicking this lever so that our plane does not fly on its own once we power it. Then we're going to be enveloping the entire plane in honey glue. We're going to be doing this by holding control and using the mouse wheel to enlarge the bounding box of the honey glue selection box. We're going to have to dig a hole so that we can lower it like this. And after we make sure that our plane is fully enveloped in the glue, what we can do is attach a physics assembler. And once we pull it, the plane will be a physics entity. We can then get rid of the physics assembler as it serves no further purpose. To fly the plane, you first must power it. We can use any sort of fuel source, such as wood or coal. But charcoal is the most feasible one. We're going to right click the seat to get in, and we're going to test our controls. If I press W, the rear sails should move like this. I'm pressing S now, they move like that. I am pressing A now, they look like that. And if I press D, they should look like that. After all the controls are good like that, we can set our speed. Here's a little thing, you don't actually need this lever. I'm gonna be getting rid of it because of that. If you set it at maximum, it's going to be off. 14, it's going to be moving too fast, so it's not going to take off. 13, on the other hand, is where it's going to actually take off or start spinning. And as you can see, this is without me pressing anything. It is taking off on its own because it is light enough to do so. It is a, well, as I've shown before, very maneuverable. And when powered by blaze cakes, engines provide more stress units and spin faster. Because of this, when fueling your plane with blaze cakes, you don't actually need 3 engines, and you can safely remove the 3rd one. When flying a plane that is powered by blaze cakes, it is important to note that you don't go down to 13 to take off, as it is spinning too fast. You need to go down to 11, and that will actually make the plane take off. To land the vehicle, you need to switch to first person, as you need to be able to operate the levers. Once you're remotely above the area you want to land in, you can either switch that lever to 15, or you can flip this lever which will disengage the transmission and stop the propeller from spinning. Because the vehicle is light, much like the previous version, you can punch it into location. You don't have to use handles or anything to move it. And there we are. The vehicle is ready to take off again. And we can take out our fuel.